Welcome everyone, it's Shari Carroll for SimonsSaysStamp.com, and I'm here with a Funny Friday card using art impression stamps and dies for a fun birthday delivery card. I'm using the set Happy Spring, and this has the stamps and dies, and I'm going to focus on this bottom piece where the rabbit is in a carrot, and I'm going to convert this to something more like a race car. So I'm using Simon Says Stamp Black Intense ink, and I've stamped this onto some Nina White cardstock 80 pound. And once I have that pressed in using my MISTI, I have a nice crisp design. Next, I've used the coordinating die and I've run that through my die cut machine. And these dies fit really nice and close to your design, so it's easy to match up and it creates very little border. So what I want to do is cut these carrot tops off since I'm going to be adding a little bit of exhaust behind my race car. I'm using Copic markers to color in all the images, and I've included links in the description box below for all the colors I've used, just in case you want to create the same thing. Next, I'm using the Seam Builder stencil from Simon Says Stamp, and I'll be creating some clouds and grassy hills. And to start off with my clouds, I'm using a really light touch with Cadette ink, and this is the new Positively Everything ink. And I'm just going around the edges for each of the clouds. This stencil has a variety of hills that you can create and a few cloud sizes. So I'm using a combination of LIMELICIOUS and PEARFECTION inks to create an overlapping hill. I trimmed down my stenciled piece to 3 1/8 by 6 1/4 to fit the front of a mini slimline card. Next, I'm going to lightly tack my race car bunny to the front of the card, and then pick out some stamps that I can use for my exhaust. And next I want to trace around the back of the car and the flowers so I know right where that line is. I've mounted the stamp onto a stamping block and I'm using the Simon Says Stamp Fog ink, and I'll be stamping several of these little flowers or leaves in the area where the exhaust would be coming out of the car. Fog ink is a really light gray. If you want this to be a little darker, you could use smoke ink. And next, I'll lightly tack down my bunny again to the card front. For my message, I've die cut the Happy Birthday on a line, and that's by Simon Says Stamp, and I've used our silver matte cardstock. Here I'm just adding a little bit of the Simon Says Stamp craft tacky glue to the back side, and I'll start placing this just behind those flowers. I've removed my bunny car once again, and I'm using our new T-square to make sure that I have my die cut lined up really well. And once I do, I can press that down in place. And to finish this card off, I'm using the Simon Says Stamp Craft Tacky Glue and some sequins, and I'm just adding them randomly to the bottom portion of the card. And here's my finished card. It's bright and cheery, which is perfect for a summer birthday, and it really did transform that carrot into a car. But wait, I had an afterthought that I just had to try, so I cut the cart away from the car and I placed it under the card to make it look like the bunny has dropped its load. So I hope you've enjoyed this inspiration using art impression stamps for a Funny Friday card, and as always, thanks so much for joining me.